In this short podcast, I'm going to talk about Henry VIII's desire to divorce his first wife, Catherine of Aragon, why he did it, and how successful and what damage it did to his relationship with other powers in Europe, and also with his own people in England. Now, Henry had an elder brother called Arthur, and Arthur was set to become king on the death of Henry VII. Henry VII made sure that Arthur would be well connected to the other kings and queens of Europe, and he was married off to Catherine, a Spanish princess, and to strengthen ties with Spain. Spain was a very powerful country at the beginning of the 16th century. Arthur died before Henry became. Arthur died before his father did, which meant that Henry Tudor, who became Henry VIII, was then given the widowed bride, Catherine of Aragon, to carry on this strengthening of ties with Spain. And from what I can gather, the marriage was very happy. So when Henry became Henry VIII, Queen Catherine, as she then became, was popular amongst her subjects in England. However, as the years moved on, she failed to produce a male heir. She'd actually given birth to a daughter, Mary, but no male heir, which is very important in early modern Europe. To produce a male heir is very important. And if you look back over the previous few hundred years, there'd only ever been one female queen. I can only have one female queen. There'd only ever been one queen, Matilda, and that was not seen to be the tried and tested way in which you rule a country. So we needed a male heir to keep the bloodline going, preferably somebody who also is the queen. In other words, because Henry VIII was renowned for having lots and lots of illegitimate children, so that it's very important that the child was of the queen, not of anyone else. So Henry sought by the 1520s to divorce Catherine. Catherine was now growing old, moved beyond childbearing age. It tells us something about the character of Henry, and he looked for an annulment. And to do that, he looked to the Bible, because to get an annulment or a divorce in the 1520s meant that you needed to get some discompensation from the Pope, and the Pope at the time was Pope Clement. So, in order to justify to the Pope that he could divorce Catherine, he looked to the Bible, and he found a line in the Bible, I think it was from Leviticus, the book of Leviticus, which stated that a brother should not marry the widow of his own brother when he died. And he used this to justify the fact that the marriage was initially illegal, and that the marriage with Arthur had been consummated. But the Pope was having none of it. Partly because at this time in Rome, the Spanish emperor pretty much had invaded Italy and captured Rome, and he was holding the Pope essentially to ransom. And so the Spanish did not want Catherine to be divorced from Henry. By the late 1520s, things had become complicated even further. Henry had fallen in love with a woman called Anne Boleyn. And we know this because the letters that he wrote to her survive. And in these letters, he speaks with great passion how he wants to be with her. But Anne Boleyn is no fool. She knows that Henry has lots and lots of mistresses. She wants power for herself, so she keeps herself pure and away from Henry until the divorce comes through, or at least during the course of the 1520s. So Henry is absolutely desperate. He sends his top cardinal, Cardinal Wolsey, to negotiate the divorce. It's unsuccessful. He's tried for treason, for being unsuccessful. And only through the fact that he dies before he's brought to trial for treason of stomach cancer that really saves him from a very, very kind of sad end to a very successful career. Wolsey was a very famous minister under Henry VIII. The new Archbishop of Canterbury, a man called Thomas Cranmer, was then put in charge. And by 1532, Anne Boleyn is pregnant. So things have to start moving quickly. Henry announces himself as head of the church, and he marries Anne in private, and then a few months later, in the beginning of 1533, he divorces Catherine, and Anne gives birth. So everything sounds good, but unfortunately, Anne gives birth to a girl, Elizabeth. However, we now see the first of his wives removed from the chess table. Poor old Catherine. She's moved out into the country as a former queen, although still very popular. And over the years, she's heartbroken. She's moved to less pleasant quarters until she finally dies in 1536, probably of a broken heart. But there we have it, the King's Great Matter, how Henry VIII divorced his first wife.